Marv, you joked about which game do we start with, the AFC game or NFC Championship game? And Packer fans, so behind every joke, there's a little bit of truth, and perhaps he was trying to embed it, but I mean, we got to start with the game that pulled out all the stops. I mean, you can't write this. Your thoughts on the NFC Championship game and the way the Seahawks clawed back and snatched victory?
I like how you say snatch victory. First and foremost, let me say congratulations to the Seahawks for making it back to the Super Bowl 49 down in Arizona. Congratulations. But Green Bay gave you a late Christmas present because anything and everything that they could do wrong in the last 5 minutes of that game, they pretty much practically did. Giving up an onside kick, giving up a late touchdown, giving up an overtime touchdown, letting the read option happen, Marshawn Lynch wide open on the sidelines, catching balls. So pretty much anything that happened that last 5 minutes of the game pretty much happened. Devastated, heartbroken, any adjective that you want to use to describe me, that's pretty much what happened on Sunday afternoon. So
let's not forget, it's interesting because the wild card game, the divisional game, some inconsistencies in terms of the calling, the controversy with the refs. How fitting that all this culminates in Green Bay and Seattle meeting back where the Hail Mary happened, and it wasn't really the refs who ruined this game. It was Green Bay. You didn't mention this Hail Mary, the 2-point conversion to Wilson, where Clinton Dix, who makes one of the most amazing interceptions you could see this season, absolutely just misplays the ball. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I had some do-re-mi on this game, and after Wilson threw that 4th interception, I just went ahead and sent it over. But from there, I mean, there must have been some voodoo in that money because everything worked in my favor down the stretch, and I got it all back.
Someone told me earlier today that there was a lot of angels that were in Seattle's backfield this past weekend in order for them to make this big comeback. Ty, like I said, I was just devastated. The play calling, they seemed like they got conservative second half, but I don't blame them. But I gave you the keys to how Green Bay was going to win. Run Eddie Lacy, depend on the tight ends to catch a couple balls, depend on the defense to make turnovers and stops, which they did. They contained Seattle to do
great defensive
effort. They made Seattle pretty much one-dimensional, and it just seemed like it just all came apart. Like I said, it never should have came down to the onside kick. I'm not the type of person that say like I said the week before, one play doesn't determine the whole game. The whole game has a lot of determining factors. Green Bay had 5 turnovers and weren't able to cash them into touchdowns. So, like I said, kudos to Seattle. I consulted with my best friend, Jack Daniels, for a couple of hours just to get over this grief and everything, and my other best friend, Pat Ron, for a long period of time. But
Pat.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, I hope next year Green Bay can use this as fuel to the fire and move on. I mean, they were 7-point underdogs, which was astounding to me, pretty much in a nutshell.
Now, you touched on the underdog piece. Was I the only one who was a little disturbed that, Doug Baldwin needed to lash out in a sense at the media, lash out a bit at the reporters saying that y'all doubted us when they were favored of the game, and it's not our fault Doug Baldwin fumbled the kickoff and dropped a few passes. I mean, how did that rub you? Did that rub you a certain kind of way?
It did. Jermaine Kearse and Doug Baldwin, and I didn't even watch the postgame. I was so disheartened by the postgame. I didn't watch the postgame. But I saw Russell Wilson crying all in the cameras and everything.
It's emotional.
Very emotional. I was definitely heartbroken, and I was definitely disturbed by. Let's get one thing right. You guys didn't win because of Doug Baldwin and Jermaine Kearse. It was number 24 in the backfield that really carried y'all to victory. Let's just be honest with that. He was really the linchpin and the focal point of what was going on. Russell was throwing the ball with his eyes closed across half of the field, and people were coming down with it. When you throw to a receiver 4 times and he has 4 interceptions when you throw it to him 4 times, stats pretty much say for themselves.
And
pretty much.
I would keep to yourself.
Exactly.
You mentioned Marshawn Lynch, had a great game. I mean, few weeks ago he wasn't feeling that good, and I know you're not feeling that good, Marvin. And so I had to bring something for you, Marvin. I hope that these Skittles can help you feel the way Marshawn Lynch felt, before he came back in that Arizona game. All right, original touches. We've got dessert. We've got wild berry here. We've got a bunch of different flavors. Another thing Green Bay didn't do, Sherman hurts his arm, and they never really tried him.
You know what? I feel like Sherman might have been playing possum, so I understand why. They did throw Richard Sherman early in the first quarter in the red zone.
I said, don't try him last week. They tried it.
But
it didn't work.
coming from reports from Aaron Rodgers, he thought that he had a free play. So that's why he tried Richard Sherman on that play. He thought he had a free play. He thought there were 12 men on the field. So that's why he was late, and he threw it short to Devontae Adams over Richard Sherman. You see the outcomes from that. But
the 12th man was actually in the stadium.
Yeah, that too. But it is what it is. Like I said, congratulations to the Seahawks for going there. But their opponents will be, once again, Tom Brady makes it once again back to the AFC Championship game. No, I do not want those, Ty. Can't stand Skittles.